And we're live. Welcome, everybody. We've got a really cool music treat for you, another Hangout concert here. Today we've got the world-famous percussion guitarist Preston Reed playing for us live from his home in Scotland. He's got a really cool audio setup there, and I think you're going to really like the sound quality we're going to bring you through this. This guy produces more sound from one guitar. We were teasing the other day that he's the greedy guitarist. He got so good and so proficient that he decided he could get away with firing the drummer and firing the bass player and produce all the sound himself. So let's bring Preston in and let him introduce himself and take it away. Go ahead, Preston. Welcome. Preston, you have to unmute. Sorry, Catherine, I have to unmute.
Really,
there you go.
really happy to be here, and really happy that you're here. And I'm going to start this concert with a tune of mine called Ladies' Night.
Are we there? Did you guys lose audio?
Yeah.
Who muted?
Preston's been muted. Who muted the Hangout?
I didn't mute Preston. I muted Patrick Strother.
There we go. Sorry about that, Preston. Thank you.
Start again? Okay, what about starting the recording, which I haven't done?
That would be a good timely thing to do. Fire away.
Sorry about that.
Can I just start the tune again?
Yes,
Okay.
please do.
All right.
Yep. 2 for 1.
Try this again, everybody. That was just a little bit of a warm-up now. Now this is the tune, and it's called Ladies' Night.
You're playing, not recording.
I pressed record. Okay. Back. And record.
Okay.
All right.
That was fantastic.
That's incredible. I'm in awe of what you can do with that guitar.
Hey Tom, are we able to do a Hangout wave here if I start on this side and
we can do that. So I guess Preston, for people tuning in right now, can you tell a little bit about how you got started, when you first started playing guitar and how you developed this technique? Give a little background on it.
Yeah, I started playing guitar when I was 8 years old and kind of had a, it was on and off, and really got into it when I was about 16. I discovered John Fahey and Leo Kottke and Jorma Kaukonen, and that really kind of gave me a foundation in fingerpicking. And since I was always a composer and always was into writing my own tunes, learning these techniques was really a great thing. And really helped me to compose music and everything. And I made about 5 records doing that. And then in 1987, I just sort of reached a plateau where, although I was happy with what I'd done with the fingerpicking style, I was also feeling kind of a little bit restricted by the conventional way of playing the guitar, and I knew that there were other sounds that could be incorporated and orchestrated into the guitar music if I could invent a new way of playing. So that's what I did.
Very
And
cool.
that's, yeah.
We've got several other guitar players in here. Do you guys have any questions for Preston?
Let me get here. One of the questions I would like to ask is, what are his favorite tunings?
Sure. The tuning that Ladies Night is in is one of my most common tunings when I'm playing in this style, and it's if you were playing a normal guitar, it would be C G D G G D. Okay. This guitar actually is a baritone, so it's got an extended scale length. So I keep it tuned one whole step below that. So it's B flat F C F F C.
That means you are truly a bass fanatic.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
This is amazing. It was amazing to finish playing that tune. I've got the same level of nervousness as when I play any concert, and to look up at a computer screen.
And we get the intimacy of being in your living room. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Wow.
I got just as nervous interviewing you yesterday.
So why don't you play another one for us, and then we'll talk a little bit more and go from there.
All right. This tune is called The Hangman. This tune will be on my next record that's coming out.
That was fantastic. That
Very
was.
nice. Awesome.
So, I have a question for Preston.
Go ahead, Aya.
What inspires you to write? I mean, how do you name your songs? I mean, you've got a song called Tractor Pull. You've got a song called Ladies' Night. And I mean, I have a hard enough time naming a song that has words.
Well, I think I get sometimes it's, there will be a visual, sort of something visual suggested or a story suggested by the tune, and that helps me to come up with a name for it. But sometimes audience members have suggested names for me for tunes. In fact, that tune was suggested by an audience member who said it reminded him of this Led Zeppelin tune, and he thought I should call it The Hangman. So I did. It's a good name.
That sounds brilliant.
Yeah. So it really just depends on you know, what story the song is telling and whether I can come up with a way to capture that.
Very cool. Now you said that one's coming out on a new album or new CD. When does that do out?
Well, this summer, hopefully late in the summer. I'm still, you know, I'm about halfway through recording it, so I expect it to be out late summer, end of August, something like that.
Awesome. Looking forward to it very much. Cool. We'll have at it. We'll enjoy.
All right. This tune is named after the bullet trains of Japan, and it's called Shinkansen.
I love it. I hope the viewers I hope the viewers are getting the same experience. I got to give Google credit. The audio codec has been improved so much, and watching your fingers there, or even the video seems to be keeping up pretty well. So it's a cool experience.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You've you started playing more conventional style, and then you moved into this. How long did it take to not just to develop the style, but to retrain yourself? How much was transferable from what you knew before?
Well, it wasn't retraining, it was really just kind of branching off, sort of like growing a new branch on a tree. So basically, I tried to forget everything that I'd ever learned on the guitar and just believe in myself as a composer and just try stuff. And although I knew that it looked crazy, but felt right because I was able to provide, a bass line and a melody and a percussive groove and move along harmonically in the tune, even though it looked like this. And so I guess it was just a lot of experimentation and just sort of suspending disbelief and continuing with it. And I also, the more I got into it, the more I was able to incorporate what I did already know. So you can see in some of my compositions, there's, I'll incorporate finger picking and then go back into this stuff, because music is very much about a groove, and it's about kind of a rhythmic storyline that continues. And as you listen to music, it's not so much what one particular technique that makes the music, but rather the composition as a whole. So it gets easier and easier to switch between techniques as you start to just sort of think compositionally.
Hi, Preston. This is Leslie in Dallas, Texas.
Hello, Leslie.
I just wanted to pop in because I've actually been 2 rooms down the hall from my husband, who's been watching the live hangout in his office, and I've been enjoying the music all along, not knowing what he was listening to. And as I walked by, I saw that you're doing a live concert performance. So I want to thank you because you've been entertaining everyone in our office.
Oh, well, I'm delighted. That's great. That's great to know.
You're absolutely brilliant. So we really appreciate you sharing your talent.
Preston, I did have a quick question from you, or for you. I noticed that the broadcast is from Scotland, and I just cannot hear any Scottish accent in the guitar at all.
Well, I am from New York originally, but about 11 years ago, or 12 years ago now, I came over to Scotland to play at a guitar festival in the county that we live in. It's called South Ayrshire. And met this woman named Catherine, and then we stayed in touch on the internet after I went back to the U.S. and she told me that she said if you come back to see me, I'll get you a few gigs. So anyway, so I said that sounds great. So she got me a few gigs, and now she's my manager, and we're married, and I've been living in Scotland for 12 years.
Well, just so you know, I've got the 19-piece big band.
Yeah.
And Leslie was publishing a magazine out of New York, and her magazine did a review on my CD, and we just celebrated our 8th anniversary.
Well, congratulations. You see how these things can happen? It's fantastic. That's
Preston,
awesome.
I'm just a little confused about something. I thought the way to a man's heart was through his stomach,
Well,
not through his guitar.
well, it's really just, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway.
It's through whatever feeds a man's soul.
Exactly.
There you go.
Oh.
That's right.
So, Preston, on the related note of you meeting at a festival, what do you have scheduled now? What are you doing in the near future? Tours, festivals, where are you playing?
Well, I'm going to be playing at TED Global next week. I'm very excited about that.
Very cool.
Going to be spending about 5 days there, and I'm really looking forward, as much to just hearing all the amazing stuff that's going to be happening there and meeting the amazing people who are going to be there. And it's also going to be, of course, fun to play there, but I'm really excited about that. And then after TED, I go and play at a festival in Cork, Ireland. And then it's down to the very south of England to play in an aquarium. I'm playing at the National Marine Aquarium in Plymouth, England. Should be fun.
Awesome. There we go.
Preston, are you scheduled to participate in the Scotland Hurl that's coming up in the next week or two, I think?
I'm not going to be participating in that. No, I won't be.
Yeah, you'll be on the road. I imagine your schedule's quite
Yeah.
busy. Yeah.
So, another tune?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh yes, please.
Okay, this tune is called Running.
That's just breathtaking. Anybody else got any questions?
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to. Catherine has just told me what the Scottish Hurl is, and I'm going to try to participate in that actually. So
very nice.
it's the real life hangout in Edinburgh.
Hangout in real life, correct.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to try to make it to that for sure.
Yep. Hey, Preston, I have a question. I joined a little late. I apologize for that. But if somebody wanted to find you online with some of your music or videos, where might they go to see some of that?
Well, you know, if you want to see me play, there's my YouTube channel. Yeah,
Okay.
It's called Preston Reed Music. And then the website, really, my website, PrestonReed.com, is kind of the place to go for everything.
Okay.
There you can have links to buying my music either digitally or physically from a CD Baby and iTunes or whatever. And there's also my blog and there's also an e-newsletter sign up if you want to receive a newsletter letting you know about when I'm going to be playing in your area and things like that.
PrestonReed.com would be the landing page for everything. I'll link you up to wherever you want to go.
Exactly.
Outstanding. Thanks.
If anybody out there who didn't hear it, I just put it here in the lower third so they can see PrestonReed.com.
That's really slick, Tom. How did you do that? That's cool.
That's with Moritz's lower third module. Quick and easy to build those on the fly. Back to you, Preston. Take it away.
Oh, Catherine has suggested I play something slow, so I'm going to play a tune called Love in the Old Country.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Tell Catherine, nice choice.
So Preston, I have a comment here from the thread, and this might lead into a little bit of about your guitar too. But we've got Peter Bailey, and he said, "Is there any part of the guitar this guy doesn't use?" He said it's kind of like somebody who eats the entire apple, core and all. So on that note, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your guitar, because that's something you really favor too.
Sure. This is a this is a Bailey guitar. Mark Bailey is a luthier who actually lives very nearby us here in southwest Scotland. And for many years, I played a custom-made Ovation guitar, but about a year ago, a year and a half ago maybe, I went to Mark to ask him if he could build me, a new guitar. And a lot of the dimensions of it were based around the dimensions of this custom-built Ovation that I'd played for 15 years. But I also had some new design ideas that I wanted him to incorporate, and so he built this guitar, and it's just awesome. I just love it. So I'm playing this everywhere in all the concerts I do. It's my main instrument. And then he's also built me a second guitar, which is a normal scale length acoustic guitar as well. And I'm really happy with him, with the way he makes things.
Awesome. Yeah. The sound is incredible. We went through the sound check and everything, and I can tell you through the performance here, it's holding real solid. It sounds great.
Catherine wants me to also mention that Bailey Guitars is a very green operation. He has solar power, wind power. Everything on this guitar is made from either from what's the word for it? This used to be, a hallway chest or something like that, or a
Recycled.
Recycled furniture. Yeah.
And
this is
repurposed.
English cedar. Yeah. There's no what they call bloodwoods in it.
So Preston, can you talk a little bit about your style and where that all came from? I'm not sure the terminology you would use, but it looks like there's a tap pad on the front of the guitar, and where that whole style originated, how you came up with that unique sound.
Well, I guess these pads are here. This is really here because sometimes I will actually play percussively using finger picks and thumb picks. So this is here just to protect the top of the guitar. This thing. It doesn't have any, and actually there is a percussion sensor, but it's more like here. So I guess this is some of the things that the way that I play, you can play on any guitar, and I certainly could not have come up with it if I'd needed something special to start out with. So any acoustic guitar is all you need to play this way. However, there's some things that along the way I've started to enjoy, like an extended scale length and a lowered tuning, because as TC said, I'm a bass freak. I love the bottom end sound, and then there's what else? When I had this guitar built, I had it built so that it would balance when I'm standing up, because actually usually when I'm playing this way, I'm standing up. Mm-hmm. And so it needs to, since I'm generally approaching the guitar from this end, the guitar has to be able to balance right on its own.
Right. And where did that style come from? Do you remember the first time you started to tap?
Well, where it came from was, there were 4 guitarists in the 80s who were all experimenting with tapping or hammer-ons. I call it hammer-ons and pull-offs. There was Stanley Jordan, Michael Hedges, Eddie Van Halen, and Jeff Healey, and all of them in different styles were experimenting with doing these hammer-ons and playing actually on the guitar neck with both hands. So I didn't invent that, but what I did invent in 1987 was something that incorporated that type of playing, but within a larger context of composing multi-voiced music using the whole guitar, meaning all of the different percussive sounds. Let me just show you a couple of the drum sounds that I've come up with and what I call them, because I name them after actual drums. This is the kick drum. Okay, this is the rim shot. This is a bongo. This is a kunga. So is that. That's a kunga as well. This is a hi-hat, and this is a hand clap. So I tend to try to use all those sounds to make drum grooves, and these, I guess the main thing that I do and the main thing that I invented was to have an integrated drum groove, so that rather than just occasionally playing drums in the middle of a tune, these tunes are built around a drum groove, and the guitar playing really is built over the top of the drum groove.
So I have 2 more questions. So everybody knows that a guitar and the strings need to be tuned. to whatever key that you're going to play in and so forth. But with the tapping and so forth, is there any special care that a guitar needs to keep a similar tone?
Okay, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
There's no real difference. It could be that, you know, I've noticed that my 12th fret seems to wear pretty quickly, but for the most part, you know, what you're doing is just, you know, learning the way to get the optimal sound. And I would have to say, you know, I often get asked, you know, do you go through a lot of guitars because, you know, there's all this drumming and stuff. But the thing is that if you hit a guitar properly and in the right place, you're not going to be harming the top. One thing to note is that the top of a guitar is made to move. It's made to flex, kind of like, you know, airplane wings.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to. That's how you get that resonant, you know, vibration. So to do, you know, a percussive gesture on the top of a guitar isn't going to hurt it unless you do it really excessively hard. But you don't need to do that to optimize the sound.
So just to follow up on another question is, are you professionally trained in music, specifically guitar and drums, or all self-taught all the way around?
I'm completely self-taught. I've just always loved music, and I've always heard music and composed music in my head, even when I was 8 years old.
Really?
I wrote my first tune when I was 8 years old. Yeah.
So you have that special ability to be able to listen to something and make it come out of your fingers, which a lot of unique musicians have that style where they can listen to something and sit down on a piano, as an example, and just be able to reproduce it.
Well, in my case, it's listening to something in my head and trying to reproduce it on the guitar. I'm not always successful, and I'd have to say that writing music to me is a combination of, it's a process that has to do with applying my will to the guitar and also getting the answer back from the guitar, and there's sort of a creative dialogue that happens between those two things, and that's how I end up with the tunes I've got.
Well, whatever you're doing and all of that, it's definitely working, and we all appreciate your music very much, and thank you for sharing it.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you.
So, Preston,
Go ahead.
Preston, for the guitarists out there, one of the things that's really how would I say it, a conundrum for most people who are playing acoustic guitar live is that amplifying an acoustic guitar to the volume level that an entire audience needs is a difficult thing because of pickup systems, because of the soundboard vibration and feedback and things like that. And so there are a plethora of different type of pickup systems out there. What particular type of pickup system do you have in the guitar?
Well, I've got sort of a Frankenstein system in my guitar. There's a company called Schertler. It's a Swiss company. They make amplifiers and they also make guitar pickup systems. So I've got a Schertler pickup here. I've got a Schertler preamp, sort of little control thing up here that has a volume and tone controls on it. And then I've got that wired into it's another company located in Oregon called K&K, and they make piezo sort of stick-on contact pickups. So I'm using the bridge pickup of the Schertler, and I'm using, there's 3 K&K contact pickups under the bridge, plus there's 2 more, one here and one there. Okay, so it's a dual system, and those 2 signals are mixed, blended on the guitar.
I used to actually be a representative for K&K. I know their pickup systems well.
Ah, okay.
As a luthier and a repair specialist, I have installed K&K on a number of guitars, quite a few. So that the triple system under the bridge, for anybody who really would like to get an idea of what's going on, the pickup system that's inside the guitar and is mounted actually to the wood. And what it does is it picks up the vibration of the soundboard itself rather than the strings. So the strings start the soundboard vibration and the sympathetic resonant, and then those transducers, is what they're called, are inside the guitar and mounted to the wood, so that the wood itself is what they're picking up, and that's why you get to hear that like real warm sound.
The top of the guitar becomes like a microphone diaphragm.
Yeah.
And that's why you can get all those tones out. There's a woman named Julie there who wants to ask a question, I think.
Well, mine was a lot simpler than yours. But My question was, when you were talking about your history of becoming a guitar player, you said that you were pretty self-taught. Never once had a guitar lesson, or did you have guitar lessons at some point? Can you pick up a piece of music, look at it, and play, and extrapolate on that?
I would have to say that it would take me about an hour to get through a page of music. In other words, I really just don't deal with it unless I have to. Now I have to check the transcriptions that my transcriber does when he transcribes my tunes, and that's the moment when I do have to like read my own music and read the. But it's not something that I naturally do. I've had I had some really disastrous lessons when I was 9 because I started playing the guitar. You know, my father, I guess my first lesson was my father teaching me a few chords and a couple of tunes on a ukulele. And then I grabbed his guitar and started playing that and started writing music on it. And I really got into it very quickly. And then my parents, I think, meaning well, said, well, we'll get him a teacher to sort of guide him along. But it was a rather strict classical guitar curriculum, and it just made me stop, basically. It really turned me off. I think I've just got a particular kind of personality that I like to, you know, make things rather than render things, you know. Now,
Well,
but I love classical guitar music, and I loved the actual music that he was having me play. It was just the learning method. I just never really got with it.
yeah, I've been a musician and taken lessons since the 4th grade, and my son is a fabulous guitar player himself, and he's 14, and I tried to give him lessons for a while, but he just wasn't doing it. And, you know, of course, when you go off and do your own thing, well, even myself, when I'm at the piano and I start doing my own thing, I get all sorts of compliments in the house. But when I'm trying to get through the Debussy or to the Beethoven, it's like, can you just play one of your tunes? It's like, okay, fine, you know. And so, I mean, at what point, as a parent at this point, do I say, you know what, just do what you're doing? Just keep
We have
it up
comments.
and-
We have comments coming in from the outside here of people who are viewing from hangcast.com. Anthony Park was asking about the black pad on the upper bout. He can't see that it's a pad there, and he thinks it's a sound hole. And so
Yeah.
for
It's really just a pick guard, and all it's there for is just to protect the top, because sometimes I play percussion using my thumb pick.
and Jason Jones came in and he just put a one-word comment: awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So you're getting some viewers out there who are really impressed, and they're having a very good time watching you.
Wow.
Preston, one of your tunes,
Okay.
if you had a choice to pick one of your own pieces of music, which of course we are very much enjoying, which would be your favorite to play, or which would be your most challenging?
I would say I don't really play favorites. Literally, don't play favorites with my music, because every tune is so different. You know, some of my tunes have are maybe more deeply emotional, and some of my tunes are more deeply technical. But to me, there's no one that I love more than another, because they're all saying something important. It really just depends on the mood that I'm in. You know. Sometimes I'm in, I'm feeling sort of, an emotional kind of feeling, and other times I'm not. Other times I'm feeling more of like a rock and groove and rhythmic feeling. So the thing about music is that you can say so many different things with it, and the other thing, which kind of is digressing from your question, but is that with instrumental music, you can reach anybody in the world, because it transcends languages and language barriers.
Yeah, smartly said, Mike. Yeah, beautifully said. What kind of mood are you in right now?
I'm in the mood to play another tune.
Absolutely.
Actually, I was going to ask if you'd be in the mood to play 2 in a row, so we could just kind of let it go. Part of the reason of scheduling at this hour is for people and could listen to it at work and stuff like that. We can let them crank it up and do 2 in a row.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so this tune is called the Border Reavers. Okay, and then after the Border Reavers, I'm going to go into a crazy percussion tune called Rainmaker.
Holy moly. Woo! Wow. Okay, each time I say it's my favorite, that was my favorite, I don't know. There I'll go.
We got a question from a Peter J. Keats, wondering about whether you've ever put poems to music.
I haven't, but I have certainly had people send me lyrics to my tunes. So I think that there are listeners out there who like the idea of who hear lyrics happening with my music. And the thing is that for me, I'm so into music as music that I tend to not really hear lyrics going along with it. It's sort of the emotional experience of the music itself reaches me directly. But certainly am flattered when people write lyrics to my stuff or tell me that they think that would work.
Let's see. We've had people asking if you could play Tribes, your song Tribes, or anything off of your album Metal.
Yeah, I can definitely play something off of Metal. Like maybe the tune Metal. So here, I'll put on my fingerpicks here. Unfortunately, Tribes, I haven't really practiced up on Tribes. I haven't played it in quite a few years, so I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to do that one.
I think we'll do just fine. So we'll suffice with Metal. Looking forward to it.
Okay. There we go.
I posted a picture of the album cover of that album there in the screen share, if anybody wants to put it up in the main screen there. The album Metal by Preston Reed, one of my favorites, actually. I've had then a lot of headphone time on that album.
That's just, I'm awestruck by that sound. That's really something else.
Do you want to hear another tune?
By all means, please.
Guys, before you get that, we have a question from Handcast. On the original Ladies' Night CD, was a song called One Day, and who was the singer?
The singer was my ex-wife, Sophie Reed. And it was a tune that really neither of us were really happy with. So when I acquired the rights to the album in 2000, I left that tune off the album. Instead included three tracks that I had not been able to put on the album at the time that I made it. So that's the answer to that question.
Okay. More music, please.
All right. Actually, now that we're talking about Metal, I'm going to play another tune from Metal. This is called Blasting Cap.
Something
Very
blew up.
cool.
Wow. You're challenging the limits of the audio codec. That still sounds really good. So there's several of us that would like to hear Tractor Pull as well. Any other favorites? Anything else you want to share with the viewers, Preston?
I think no, this is feeling really good. So I'll play this tune now called Tractor Pull. This is from my album Handwritten Notes.
Just awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely one of my favorite songs.
Oh.
Well, we're going to go, what, maybe 10 more minutes? Anybody else have any questions here? Let's see if we got anything on the stream.
I have a small question. To what extent does the audience affect your performance?
the audience, I guess I can tell you what happens inside me and what happens outside of me. Hopefully, nothing happens outside of me. You wouldn't know the difference. But inside, a really enthusiastic and excited audience makes me. I synergize with them, and I guess I sort of enjoy the concert more when I'm playing to an audience that seems to be, really getting something out of what I'm doing and getting excited by it and everything. But no matter, I've been doing this for so long that no matter what kind of audience, some audiences are very shy and they're not very expressive, even though they're actually enjoying the show very much. So I try to just imagine that everyone is enjoying the concert, and that way I get through the concert feeling good. And but
I hope you're not imagining and you realize we really are enjoying this.
I'm getting wonderful vibes coming at me from all of you, and it's great. This is really an amazing experience. I have to say, it's a mind-blowing experience.
Cool. Maybe some other artists will follow what you're doing here as well.
Catherine has just requested that I play a ballad called Far Horizon. Would that be all right?
Please.
Absolutely. We'll go with Catherine's wishes.
That's on the album Metal as well.
Hey, real quick, Preston, can we do one thing? Can we ask Catherine just to stick her head in and wave hi to everybody since she's been working so hard behind the scenes? There she is. There's Preston's wife, Catherine McGuire. Everybody, say hi.
Nice to see you, Catherine.
She's been working really hard behind the scenes to get this set up, so I think we have to give her a shout out here.
Oh. Not as hard as you guys have, actually. I've just been doing what I'm told.
Okay, thanks, Preston.
Wow.
Preston, I have to say thank you first because Leslie just promised some loving tonight because of that song. So just thank you very much.
Yeah, I have to say that is a new favorite of mine now. I'm going to want to request that one every single time.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, what do we have? Time for one more? What do you feel like, Preston?
I'd like to play a tune called Night Ride. All right.
I was telling him in the chat. I was telling him in the chat. I have a new favorite. Each new song is a new favorite for me now.
That had everything in it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So is that one available on iTunes? Can I go buy it now? Or?
It is, Abe. It is.
Oh, good.
I'll save you a copy on iTunes.
Thank you.
It'll be there with autographed as well.
That's right.
Wow, Preston, thank you so much. This has been a treat.
Can I say something?
Please.
I want to thank you, Tom, Ayub, and TC for helping me get set up, and Tom and Ayub, well, all of you for helping produce this fantastic experience, and also the G Plus community for all the support you've shown. And this has been really just a mind-blowing treat for me, and thanks so much.
No, thank you. I mean, as you know, as a well-established, world-renowned artist, we love having you here and be a part of this. And like I said, you know, I hope many others are going to follow. You know, starting last July with what Dari has done, and many great artists along the way now. It just keeps building momentum, and you being here is a big plus for the whole community. Thanks.
Yep,
and thank you, Preston. It was a treat to be able to help make this work out for you, and spending the time with you is a pleasure indeed, because I've listened to your music quite a lot, actually, and to get a chance to conspire with you, as it were, on G Plus has been a pretty cool event.
Yeah, I'm just going to echo what Tom said, and yeah, it's thank you for the privilege to help you out and get this going, because this is all about you, Preston, and you're amazing.
Thank you so much.
And Preston, if I may, this is your first experience. I hope it's not the last. I hope we get to see more of you from your home studio, as well as potentially from the road.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to do it again. So.
Awesome. We'll be here and waiting. Anybody else? Got anything else?
With that, maybe you can play us out with one more, and that'll be it.
Okay.
Border towns.
We're going to get an encore out of them there.
I'm trying to think.
And by the way, Tom, just for all the viewing audience that's watching us live on Google Pluses, on YouTube, and all the other channels that we've been sharing the link with, we want to give a shout out and thank all of them for joining and watching us in the background as well. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in and enjoying Preston Reed's music with us, and we're happy to see that you're enjoying it as well online.
Absolutely. Thanks for that reminder, Bruce.
All right, so this is my tune, Border Towns. Yes.
On that note, we say thank you and see you again soon.